Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. My hormones make me in that case.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you are. Hello. Oh, I just hit my funny.
Hope you are all doing well. Are you okay?
Yeah, I will be in a minute.
Okay, you shake that out.
Yeah, you keep talking.
So today we're going to be talking a little bit about just some of the normal things as humans we think about, we do, that I think a lot of us feel like we shouldn't be doing, we shouldn't be thinking, that potentially is like getting in the way of us moving forward and also making us feel bad about ourselves when we don't need to be feeling bad about ourselves because we are all human. We are all human and we're not perfect. And I think we speak about it all the time, don't we? Our coaching principle is like, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be restricted. You don't need to do everything 100% because that's not what life is about. So we just kind of wanted to take it back to there.
Yeah. I think we get so lost again on like things like social media because like we only see life from one perspective, and that's like you're only fit if you've got a six pack. You're only or like you look really lean. Like you have to have like a perfect makeup on. You have to have your hair done perfectly every day. Like all of these things that I work like, and it's absolutely not like real life. Like if it was, then I failed because my hair never looks good. Well, not never, but like honestly, I put it in a bun. It stays there all week. I wake up the way it goes to bed. Like I just don't bother. Like wearing joggers, like 90% of the time, I know we're in the industry where we can do that. But then I think, oh, I've got to actually dress up. Oh my gosh, full face of makeup. Can't remember last time I actually did a when I say full face of makeup, including like foundation and all of that stuff. I mean, I don't wear any of that anymore, but like there's all these things and like being super lean, like never had a six pack. Doesn't, but then someone hasn't come up to me and go, oh well, oh you're a personal trainer, you haven't got a six pack, or you're not like super lean, so you can't not be fit. You can't not be fit. You must not be fit. Like, but I am because I can run, I can do this, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? Like I do all these exercise things. I am still fit. Doesn't mean like a six pack doesn't tell you anything. And I
No.
think we get so like, oh, that's what I must be like, that we then, like you say, feel like we've failed, so we don't continue or we don't think we're good enough.
Yeah, 100%. I think the perspective of a healthy body is to be smaller, is to be leaner, is to potentially have a six pack. When it's crazy, isn't it? Because that is the society's ideal of what fit is and what health is.
Mm.
And it's really not like the whole skinny heroin chic vibe that's going on again is not the definition of health at
Well,
all.
right.
It's just crazy that these people are probably under fueling, over exercising, in potentially cardio. I don't know. I mean, we don't see these what they're actually doing, but to be that skinny, you've got to be doing something a little bit drastic to get to that point. And
Mm.
that's not seen in the media as no one's shaming people for looking that way, but people are shaming people for being a size 12 or a size 14 or having a little bit of a tummy or a little bit extra like body fat. Like that is seen as unhealthy and shameful and you shouldn't be like that. But yet the crazy skinny
Mm.
like skeleton look is, oh yeah, well done, you're healthy.
Yeah.
It is
Mental.
wild.
It is wild,
Yeah.
absolutely wild. And you look at athletes. Um, sorry, there's like a right, it's a bumblebee. But it was, I know it's not gonna hurt me, but it was coming towards me. Um, like you look at athletes across all different sports.
Mm-hmm.
They are all different shapes and sizes. Not one athlete is going to look the same. Like I don't know, someone could be an Olympic hammer thrower or discus. Well, they're not the smallest people.
No.
Doesn't mean they're not an athlete. Doesn't mean they're not fit. Doesn't mean they don't eat to fuel themselves. Doesn't mean properly. Doesn't mean, they're not going to the gym, because they probably are. They're probably lifting a shit ton of weights because they're needing to, because they have to throw far. Like,
Yeah.
and then you get like, there's so many different body types. Like
Yeah.
gymnasts, they're going to look completely different to a runner. Like, and then a runner's going to look different to a swimmer. Like, you have a power lifter, all of these different people who are athletes who eat to fuel their bodies and to get really good results in what they're doing. No one goes, oh gosh, was there a bumblebee on around your thing?
No, I thought the front door went, but I think it was just the postman. So I was like, what's that?
But like, no one's looking at these athletes going, oh my God, like, you shouldn't look like that. They're going, oh yeah, look at her go, look at her throw that weight, or look at her do that run, or do you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
an athlete is probably most of the time the pinnacle of health, but none of them look the same.
And even Karen down the road and Anne down the road and Susan up the hill, like, they're not athletes, just general women, are all going to look different. Like, if me and you did exactly the same thing and ate exactly the same, we would still look different because we're different people and our bone structures and our bodies are made differently. Like, I know me and you are the same height, and but we've still got, our bodies are still different,
Mm,
slightly different from each other. And it's, someone might naturally be slightly curvier. Someone's gonna have bigger boobs, someone's gonna have a bigger bum, someone's gonna have bigger thighs, someone will have bigger, like, it's just the way that we're built. And yes, we can manipulate our bodies a certain way, but to a certain extent, we're still different from one person to the next, whether you're an athlete or just general Susan.
or just Susan from down the road. Absolutely. And you don't also like, I have trained so many people from being super skinny to larger. And a lot of the time, like, my larger client absolutely smashes a circuit, will do all this stuff, can do all this cardio, whatever, and the one that's smaller can't do it. Just because you
Mm-hmm.
look smaller doesn't mean you're fitter.
No, no, because you don't know what that smaller person's lifestyle look like. They might be drinking, they might be smoking, they might be eating very minimal amounts of food, and therefore they're not going to be fit. They're going to be struggling with their um, breathing. They're not going to have any energy because they're not eating properly. Whereas someone who's a little bit larger could be eating a really healthy, balanced diet, but like you say, be running, could be doing this and drinking enough water and just be fitter. So yeah, what your body size is doesn't determine what your
What
lifestyle
is
looks
normal,
like.
what's healthy? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. And I think we have to remember, like, things when we come to showing people what is normal. We have to remember there's days where you're going to feel energetic. You're going to be on top of the world. You're going to want to do not a marathon, but you feel like you could do a marathon. And then you have other days where you're like, honestly, today I cannot be asked. I just want to sit on the sofa and watch TV. And that's normal. Me and you both get that. I mean, I don't ever really want to sit and watch TV, maybe in the winter, but like, that's just preference. I'll just lay in the garden instead in the sun,
Yeah.
not move.
Oh, it's so normal. And I think that's also been demonized as well. Like, when you go to social media, it's like, you should be learning, you should be doing this, you should be spending your time, like, using every single moment to optimize yourself. And then you start to feel guilty for maybe just wanting to sit on the sofa for a few hours and watch your favorite show or lay in the garden and lay in the sun or whatever. When
Mm,
actually, like, that still should be part of life as well. Because again, we can't be like doing stuff all the time. And for me, sometimes, like, I'll get to the Saturday, I'm like, do you know what? Like, I've done loads of chores this morning, I've got lots of bits done. I want to binge watch a bit of Grey's Anatomy and just lay on the sofa and just sit there and just embrace it. And that's
mm.
okay, like, I don't sit there all day every day doing that, but
No.
you
No,
know,
and it doesn't mean you're any less fit, and it doesn't affect your health. It's probably doing you some good because you're actually chilling the hell out.
my readiness score all of last week was really low. and my sleep wasn't in the best. I was in like week before my period um, as well, so that was affecting that. And then after Saturday, where I did that, had an early night, my readiness score went way up. And it was like, you prioritised rest yesterday, and now you're so much better. And then the next day, I was like, oh, we actually went for a run in the morning, so I had a little bit more energy, you know. So actually, literally, it proves that that was what I needed.
Mm.
Whatever that rest looked like to anyone, that I needed some kind of rest, and that was what the rest that I wanted, you know.
Yeah, definitely. I was speaking to a client about this yesterday, and like I was saying, yeah, like sometimes I might be running around all day and I might not need a nap, but sometimes I just need to go and lay on my bed, put my phone down, put everything down for a minute and just lay there, even if it's for 5 minutes, and just lay. And then I go, oh, yeah, I feel better now. Cool. And then I can get up and carry on, especially if I've got stuff to do. But sometimes just laying down for like 2 minutes, and I just love being comfortable in my bed. So sometimes I'll just go and do it because sometimes dad comes in and he's like, what's that with you? Why are you laying in your bed? I was like, I just need 5 minutes. And then once I've had the 5 minutes, I'm like, right, I'm good to go again now. But you need to listen to your body sometimes, you know? Your body is going to tell you what it needs. Like your body is giving you signals and signs all the time.
100%, 100%. Like this morning, actually, I woke up and I was like, I need to get up at 5:30. Well, I needed to be out the door by 5:30 to walk the dog because I started at 7 and I wanted to have breakfast at 6:30 and I needed kind of had calls. And then I was like, I don't really want to get up. I want to just lay here. But I was like, I have to go because it's going to be roasting hot today. I can't walk him at any other time today. So I need to go. But actually, I've
Hmm.
been looking at my phone. I can't get on any social media because I've blocked myself. But I was just doing my little Duolingo and things. So I was like, do you know what? Just put my phone down and just lay and just kind of stare out the window. And so it just gives you that like moment of calm. And you're like, right, okay, I've got this now. Get up, let's go. But just to like turn your brain off for a second and go, whew, right.
Hmm.
And then it's like, okay, let's move. Let's do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. And I think like we have to remember that just because you might be getting hit and healthy, wow, fit and healthy, or you are someone that likes to work out already and stuff, that yet again, you're not going to be motivated every day. Motivation is not going to happen every day. And I know we've said this a million times before, and we'll keep saying it because someone somewhere will suddenly listen to this and go, okay, yes, I'm not going to be motivated every day. But just because you're not motivated every day doesn't mean your fitness drops off, doesn't mean you stop doing fitness, doesn't mean you stop anything. It means like you might just have one day where you go, nah, not today, and that's okay. But tomorrow I'll get back to it and I'll go and do my workout tomorrow. Like, you know,
Yeah.
because I think, yeah, there's a lot of people, and I get people say it to me, oh, like, don't you work out every day? Like, oh, how have you got the motivation to work out every day? And I'm like, well, you don't see me every day. I do not have the motivation to work out every day. But what I do have is an accountability buddy, and I go to the gym with her to make me go. That is what I do. And we book that in every Sunday. We book in like, what can you do this week? What day, what time on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday can you do? So we know we've got it booked in, it's blocked out, we're gonna do it. And then days that I'm like, ugh, she's like, nope, come on. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And it's saying like, I think I mentioned it in a previous one, but I never go to the gym at lunchtime. And I'm having to go to the gym at lunchtime now. So I go with someone. Like yesterday, I was thinking all these excuses in my head, and I was like, no, I need to go, I need to get it done. And because I had to go because they were there as well, I went. And actually we ended up going at 2:30 because we couldn't even do lunchtime. And an afternoon workout for me is a
Oh
no-go.
my God.
But it was quite good because I had lunch and I actually felt so much stronger than first thing in the morning as well. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, okay.
This is why I
Um,
like it. And it breaks up my
yeah,
day.
yeah. So yeah, an accountability buddy for those days where you're not motivated is so helpful.
Mm, absolutely. 100%.
But yeah, I think
And
it's really sorry, you go.
yeah, no, no, carry on.
No, it's just really normal to not. I do think that perception of like people always say like, oh, I just need to be more motivated, and it's like, yes, you can rely on motivation to get you there to start with, to start the thing, but then you have to almost accept that that motivation is going to wear off. Like you're not going to have have that all the time. I think that's what people just don't get is motivation just isn't, it's not
Mm.
something you can rely on. It really isn't.
And also, like, if you sign up to like a new program or whatever, it's exciting, isn't it? You're like, yeah, I've got
Yeah.
this. I'm gonna do this. How many times have you done that? I do it all the time. I'm like, yes. And you start nailing it, and you're like, first week, you're like, yeah, this is really good. That's not that feeling doesn't hang around forever. That's like a massive dopamine hit. You've bought something, you're gonna do it, you're gonna start, you know. But that you cannot cling on to that thinking that is gonna hang around because it won't. Like you
Mhm.
are gonna have ups and downs. Things are gonna go get in your way. Like, but it's how you adapt to it, isn't it? And it's learning that discipline. And I suppose it's like today, right? So I knew I had a couple of clients, one in the morning, one in the afternoon. Like I had a massive gap in between. I was like, right, this is where I'm going to do like my marketing. I'm going to get all of this done, scheduled because I'm going away in like September. So I want to get it all sorted so I don't have to bother doing it when I'm out on holiday. And I had this list, but at home, I'm sitting there going, well, I've got my washing to do, I've got that to do, and I want to get up and I'm constantly like, oh, I have to go out for a walk and I'm going to do this. And I'm like, no, I need to change something in my environment right now because this environment is not setting me up to get all this stuff done. So I
Mhm.
got in the car and I took myself to a cafe because when I go somewhere, I'm like, right, you've got 3 hours before I had to be home. I was like, you're going to get all this stuff done. You're going to do it. You've got no distraction. I can't get up and do the washing because I'm not at home. Like, and I sat there and I got it all done. But that's because I changed my environment. And sometimes to set yourself up, you have to change your environment. For example, like if when you go shopping, your shopping looks like it consists of loads of like pastries, chocolates, I don't know, sweets, and nothing else, no fruit, no veg, no nothing like that, then you're almost setting yourself up to fail because yes, you can lose weight, lose fat, eating that as long as you don't eat too much, it's not going to make you feel your best. You need a mix of the both. Like, so you need to start going, right, okay, well, maybe we are going to have to change this list. We can't eat like this all the time. We can have some of these foods in here, but we need to start prioritizing the whole foods. So then you have to change your environment. And I think, again, it's so easy to fall into the trap of trying to be perfect when you haven't set yourself up. Sometimes you've got to go through that hard bit, set yourself up, and then you can. You're not always then relying on motivation. You're getting results because of the way your environment is around you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. I think as well, it's like knowing that things are going to be a bit of trial and error to start with as well, because I've definitely fallen into the trap of like, well, I want this to be black and white, and I want to know that this is going to work. But there's so many things that might not work. So when you do
Mhm.
start changing the things or in your environment or changing what you're
Oh
doing,
no.
can you hear me? Oh, am I there?
Back. What happened? Ah,
I think my laptop decided to start syncing and then it screws everything up.
that's fun.
Or
Anyway.
thinking, let's get rid of that. Okay. Um, yeah, so what was I saying? Uh,
Oh God. Yeah, I was listening to you as well. Wow, this is like you weren't even gone for that long,
oh,
and I literally had yeah, trial and error.
trial and
Go.
error. Like if one thing that you try doesn't work, it doesn't mean that nothing is then going to work. You then have to try something else or tweak that slightly. Um, if you decided that Friday's going to be my meal planning day, and then every single Friday you don't do the meal planning and that time doesn't work for you, well, then you need to change your meal planning day. It's not that meal planning doesn't work, it's that you need to change the day.
Hmm.
Or if you keep saying I'll go to the gym in the evening and then you never go to the gym in the evening, well, maybe the evening isn't your time of day to be going to the gym. Trial it in the morning. But you're not going to know this until you try it. And failing, or I don't even like to call it failing, it's not failing, it's just that thing didn't work. But I've definitely fallen into that trap of like, felt like I'm failing, so I might as well just give up. But that's not going to get you anywhere. You just got to pivot and try something else. And if that doesn't work, you try something else. And then eventually you'll find what works for you. And then you might need to
Yeah.
change it again because it stops working at some point. But Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that actually goes on really nicely to I need to find the bit in the voice note, but actually one of my clients messaged me today. So she signed up to like an 8 week group program, and I kept reminding them at the beginning, like, look, this isn't just 8 weeks where you start and then by the end of the 8 weeks you're like super fit and you know everything and you're like you've got your life on point and like everything is just becoming natural to you within 8 weeks. I said this is 8 weeks, and I keep reminding them this 8 weeks is trial and error, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, seeing like changing your routine slightly. It's going to take time. Like this is the beginning, this is the start. You then carry on and you keep going and you keep going. It's a forever thing. And actually, she sent me this voice note, and she like nailed it on the head. So let me just see. I'm in such a better mindset, but even though we're on week 7 veg, oh, here we go. But I do feel like my eating's got better. I feel like my cardio is not a problem. Oh, like do it. I do feel like being on the program with you has really helped, because it's like every week I'm like, oh, I've only done it once, or I've not done it at all, and I've made excuses. But even though I've taken 7 weeks, I'm happy because I feel like I'm in a better mindset now. I've enjoyed both my weight workouts this week. I'm even debating, do I squeeze a third one in? Obviously it's changed because I can do them from home as well. But even though before I was feeling like I've really failed at this program, but this week I'm feeling like, no, you haven't failed. Your routine is starting to click, which I think was the whole point. It wasn't about just getting in there and being perfect. It was about slowly getting that change in my routine. So this week I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling like it's clicked. And I think she says that perfectly, right?
Yes, 100%. She does.
I'm hoping you can all hear that, but it is not, it's suddenly clicked, and things like this will click. Yes, she's been in the program 7 weeks and she hasn't done like 2 weight workouts every week. She hasn't done cardio every week. She hasn't like logged all her dinners and breakfast and whatever every week. However, she's now eating breakfast every day. Like, and if that's the only thing that she's changed right now, she's now got more energy to do her runs. Like she's now, it's taken her 7 weeks. She wanted to go to the gym to start with. She goes to a gym. She wanted to do weight workouts, and she wasn't doing them. She's like, I'm not feeling confident. Like she did it a couple of times and then wouldn't do it. And I'm like, right, what can we change? What can we do? And she was like, right, I've got weights at home. I was like, right, let's do it at home first then. Let's start off, let's get confident. And then once you get the confidence there, you could probably take it to the gym later on. And she's done that. And now we're at week 7. Yes, there's only a week left. But she's like, right, no, now this is clicking. This is what you were saying at the beginning, that this is not going to be, I'm not going to be perfect by this time in like 7, 8 weeks time. Like I get it. Like it's starting to click, things are starting to come into motion, and then I continue and they keep going. And I think this, we say this all the time, and it's almost it's probably the most frustrating thing I find in coaching, is that you'll start helping someone and then you remind them this is not going to be perfect, but then they just disappear or they stop doing it because they don't feel like they're making headway. But you've actually made more headway than you think you are or you have. And these little things, we need to keep building on them. We can't just do it for 8 weeks, 12 weeks and expect to be like Thor or some sort of goddess or whatever. Like this is the start and you have to keep going. And whether that's up and down, illnesses, kids, there's so much in it. But yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%. I think, yeah, and I think that's the problem, is that we do always look at it as if we haven't been perfect, then it is a failure. And that's what, like that has clicked for her, isn't it? Is, oh, actually, I'm just doing something. So this is good. This is what I need to be doing. And I was just looking while she was doing it, because another one of my clients actually, she literally said, I was starting to understand and accept balance far more. She's mentioned about the weight going down a little bit, but it actually has been kind of staying the same for quite a long time. But she's like beginning to understand that the scales really aren't going to move as low as I want them to, with the amount of exercise I can do that I can reasonably do with life currently. So I'm going to work on keeping my focus on moving as much as I can.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, because she, with her job, she can't do the amount of steps, she can't do the amount of workouts. But in that one message, she's like, oh, well, that's my life. I can't change that right now. So it's just accepting that, and that's okay. And it's like, rather than, because before it was like week on week beating herself up, I haven't done it, I haven't done this. And now she's like, Oh, I don't need to, like, yeah, it's that shift in mindset, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's the best thing. It's the best thing when people have that shift in mindset. Because then it gets you further forward because you stop becoming like trapped by that mindset. You're like, okay, well, today I've only managed a 20-minute walk, and that's quite okay. Like, I've still moved, I've still done something. And even if I can't do something now, maybe at the weekend I can plan a walk in with my husband or wife or kids, or we'll go out and about and we'll do stuff. If you do have a super busy job, like, I find like when I give my clients that struggle to move within the day, like targets for the week, they're like, oh, I feel so much better about this because I've got other days and we can shift and move things. I don't have to put pressure on myself on that one day to be like, I
Hmm.
must get 10,000 steps in, because you don't have
Hmm.
to. Like, as long as you're moving throughout the week and we're keeping you steady and moving to some extent, that's going to be okay. And like you say, depending on what season you're in, depending on where you are in your life, like mums that aren't sleeping, that are breastfeeding through the night or feeding the kids through the night and up and down and whatever, we're not going to then exhaust you by making you do like 10,000 steps. Like, you've got to be realistic. Like, it's again, like, we've both been injured in the past. We're not then like, right, I must do 5 workouts. Like, okay, I can't jump anymore. I'm gonna have to stop jumping for a bit. This is the season of life I'm in at the moment. Like, okay, I won't be able to do 10,000 steps every day because that hurts, but I'm gonna try and get 5,000 in. Do you know what I mean? You're always juggling things like that, balancing things out, like depending on where you are. Um, Yeah. And I think again, like that is normal. Like I think people forget this. People see people doing like a shit ton of steps every day, and that isn't the norm. Like the majority of people are definitely not doing 10,000 steps a day.
No, I'm sure there are. Well, I've seen it. There are plenty of women that and people that are not doing 10,000 steps a day. But also, that number is just a number that was thrown out there. You don't have to be
Mhm.
hitting 10,000 steps a day. You need
Like,
to find what the right balance for you is. And you consistently set yourself 10,000 steps, but you can actually hit 7,000 steps a day. That's still pushing yourself, but still within your range. Then that should be your kind of baseline of what you're aiming for, rather than the
Yeah,
10.
I think studies say it's between 6 and 8 to actually make a difference to like your um overall health. And
Mm.
I think ten was thrown out there by someone because they wanted to make it a challenge, and it's just something that's stuck, that just loads of
Yeah.
people. It's like one of those things, isn't it? Like, um, I don't know, I suppose like diets and stuff, they become popular because it's a thing. Again, 10,000 steps is become a thing because it's an easy thing for people to think about. Whereas like, I don't know, 6,000, 8,000 probably doesn't have the same ring to it. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like you say, if you're just doing a little bit more than you were, then you're going to make progress and just build it up. Like I have one client who started it, she was doing about 1,200 steps a day. Then her target was 3,000 a day. And now she's aiming between 5 and 6 a day.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
She's gone from no walks a day to 3. She'll do a little short one in the morning, one at lunch, one in the evening, or maybe none at lunch and some in the evening, or maybe none in the evening and some at lunch. Like, like, and it's just more active than she ever was before. And that is what we're aiming for. We want you to live a longer, healthier life. So we just need to build that up slowly. Like, whereas some people you get that are like easily in their jobs hitting 12K, all right, well, give me 14, because like that's an extra walk for you. That's you doing something a little bit extra, but it's not pushing you too much.
Yeah. No, I agree for sure.
And again,
Yeah.
we don't always hit our step targets, right? We
No.
might hit, we might say, right, the challenge is 15K a day, just out of thingy. But some days you might hit 12, sometimes you might hit 10, sometimes it might be 7, but then the next day you might be out and about doing loads and then you might hit 21K.
Yeah.
Like, every day is different. Like, I think my steps this week, I think Monday looked like a 21K because I had like football, or no, 12K. Tuesday was 21K. Yesterday was about 14. But again, it's up and down. It'll be more today because I've got football and I'm doing a lot of running tomorrow as well. Whereas Saturday, I don't intend to do masses on Saturday because I need a little rest. So I might just hit 10, like
Yeah.
up and down.
mine tends to be more so like in the week because I walk Fred and I jump on this treadmill quite a lot with clients and stuff. But then Saturday, Sunday, they tend to be lower because I don't get on this treadmill. I go with maybe one long walk with Fred, two if it's not too hot. But yeah, and then I might put around, do the food shop things like that. So maybe it pops up like a little bit from that. But I don't beat myself up and go, oh well, it's 5,000 less than it was in the week, you know. But I'm like, well, I've moved a lot this week, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I know it's all good.
absolutely. Mm, absolutely. 100%. But again, it's normal. It's normal for things like that to fluctuate.
Yes. And I think as well, like thinking about your body, what is normal? Because again, people show, like we were talking about, people show their abs and their leanest bodies, and they're taking the photos first thing in the morning before they've had anything to eat or before they've had anything to drink. And that's not what a real body looks like. Like your body weight will fluctuate. You'll look more bloated at certain times of the day. Once you've eaten, you'll have a little bit of bloating. Maybe some people more than others, depending on how your body is. I know that I do bloat a little bit after food, especially after some foods more so than others. Like I was literally sat there earlier because I come on my period, my belly was so bloated, and I was like touching it, and I was like, oh, my poor little belly.
Mm.
But I wasn't like going, oh no. I was like, oh well, it's because I know exactly why that is because I'm on my period, so that's how my body reacts to that. And that's just extra water retention, which I know will go, you know, in the next few days. Like your body, I think everyone thinks that their weight will kind of stay the same, but you're again from morning to night when you eat and stuff, you'll again your number on the scales will go up because you've eaten, because you've been drinking, and it hasn't all come out of your body yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And not just that, like if you are exercising and stuff, your weight can go up too. Like, your muscles swell, like you fat cells,
Inflammation,
water
isn't
cells,
it, in
all
your body?
these things, inflammation in your body. Yeah, 100%. Like they all have an impact on what your body looks like. I actually saw someone post something earlier and she took a picture of herself. She's a fitness professional. She took a picture of herself in the morning and she had abs. And then she's like, and then through the day, and she showed what she ate for breakfast. It was a big plate of, I can't remember what it was. Then she'd like run, she'd had stressful meetings, she'd eaten lunch, which is a big bowl of like sweet potato and stuff. She'd done something else, can't remember what it was, and then eaten her dinner. And at the end of the day, she took a picture of herself and she had no abs. And she's like, because this is what happens to a normal body. Like you put stuff in it, you cannot expect to look the same when you wake up as you do when you go to bed, or the opposite way around. Like when you go to bed to look like when you wake up. Like so, um, and that is normal.
Yeah. And also, some people are more genetically able to get abs than other people too. So
Mhm.
if you see someone that has abs, I'm not taking away that they have worked hard, but again, two people could do exactly the same thing. One could have way more visible abs, one might not have visible abs just because of your genetics. So
Yeah.
I think the thing is, comparison is literally the thief of joy, isn't it? And
Oh, where did you get that from? That's a cool little saying.
it is though. And I was literally yesterday in a spiral of comparing myself to other business owners and things like that. And I was like, it's literally taking away my joy by me comparing myself. But we all do it, don't we? Like we're on because social media is just people's highlights, and you see these abs and you see all these bodies and da da da. You think, why am I not like that? But I bet you they're not feeling confident about their bodies every day, and I bet you they're, you know, we don't always wake up and think, oh, I look amazing today. Like even the person with the leanest body and the abs doesn't necessarily feel the most confident about their bodies as well. And that's totally normal.
100%. And I had a conversation with one of my clients about this. It's like, um, I think I mentioned it on the podcast. I can't really remember, but there was a photo taken of her, and we've been working hard for like a few weeks, and she absolutely went into a meltdown. She's like, I look fat, I look this, I'm that, and whatever. Right. Said all these things about herself. And then transpires that she's in a skirt that she couldn't wear like 3 weeks ago, right? So she'd made progress and then she thought about it and was like, oh, okay. And I said to her, however, because she saw then another photo of herself like a few weeks later in something else and was like, I love that photo. And I said, look, just because like everyone has it where they don't like photos of themselves. Like, tell me one person that has ever looked at every photo of themselves and gone, oh, I love that. I love that. Look at me. I'm
Yeah.
amazing. Oh my God. Like, because you will have days where your hair doesn't go right. Someone's taken a photo and your eyes are in different directions. Like, you're pulling stupid faces. I know for me, oh my God, at football, sometimes when I'm laughing bad and my lips up here and you can see my gum, I'm like, oh my God, who gave her false teeth? Um, but like, yeah, you might be at a slightly different angle, and I don't know, a bit of your skin rolls over the top of your clothes because of the way you're bent, because skin moves and that happens, you know. Um, or the lighting might be different. There's so many things that can affect a photo. I said, just because you've seen that one photo, don't make it put you off because that might just be one photo you don't like, and then you'll see a million other photos and go, oh, look, really, I like these photos of me because I never look at every photo of me and go, oh my God, that's amazing. I love these photos because there are some horrific photos, but it doesn't mean I go, do
Yeah.
you know what? What's the point in working out? Because I don't. That doesn't ever cross my mind. I don't stop working out because I look shit in a photo. I just think, oh, who the fuck was the photographer?
Well, you think about like weddings, and when you have a photographer, they take thousands of pictures and then they literally compress it down into like 100 photos or whatever of the best ones because maybe in half of those, someone doesn't look their best because, like you say, they're putting a funny face or slightly bad angle or whatever it is. And that's literally why they take all those photos so they can get the best ones. That's the same in life, isn't it? You know, you're going to have lots taken that you just don't like because you just don't like them. But that doesn't
Yeah,
mean that there's something wrong with you as a person.
yeah.
It's just,
Or how you look, or there's something wrong
yeah,
with, yeah. Or like you shouldn't have a belly roll, or you shouldn't have a double chin, or you shouldn't have like all these other things that are completely normal. Like you shouldn't have like a bingo wing, as people call them. They're completely normal because otherwise you're just skin and bone. Like unless you want to be skin and bone and look really gaunt and like that, you're gonna have these things because skin moves, skin rolls, skin folds.
yeah,
Like it has to. If it didn't, you wouldn't be able to sit down, stand up, and move your body in certain different ways. You'd just be like in a straight jacket, being like, oh no, can't move, my skin doesn't move. So let me just try and I can't bend down and pick that up. Do you know what I mean? Like it would just be
yeah,
silly and like I think we get so hung up on this, like, oh, don't take a photo of me because of this and that. And I fully get it that there is confidence and stuff like that too. And some people don't like it, but I think some people go, oh, I just this bit of fat shouldn't be here. And I'm like, but it's not fat. Like, especially on like bras, like it's not fat that's hanging over your bra. It'll be skin because skin's pushed up because you've got like
yeah.
clothes in the way that's then causing you to do that. I think I was doing it the other day. I was at the gym and I can't remember what exercise I was doing, but honestly, my back was getting caught under my armpit every time I moved my arm. And I was like, Alicia was like, what are you doing? I was like, my arm, my back fat. Oh, it's not even back fat. I called it back fat. But I was like, my back is getting caught under my armpit and it's so uncomfortable. Like, what the hell is that? Why? But these things happen.
Yeah. Again, it's just that whole back that society thing, isn't it? Of what we think we should all look like. And actually, if we all just stopped thinking about that so much and just were us and were just present of what was going on and forgot about whether that bit of skin was hanging over there or whether we've got a bit of a chin, but you know, all those things, because they're like the least important things about us. Like they're the things that people care the least about. And I was speaking to a lady the other day and it like broke my heart because she said she don't want any photos, she doesn't want to be in photos. And, you know, her daughter was kind of like, why do you not want to be in the photos? And she was like, I want you to be in there. I want you to us to have the memories. And she was like, oh my God, like I need to make this change because I want to be in the photos. So when I pass away, my daughter has photos of me to look back and go. And she's not going to look at those photos and go, oh, I think mummy's a little bit overweight. Or no, I
No.
think they're actually, but mum's a bit like she's going to go, that's my mum. And I loved her and she's amazing. And here's a lovely picture of her. She's not going to care
Yeah.
about what you looked like in that photo.
No. Absolutely not, because
Yeah.
we all want photos with our parents and stuff. Like, and I've got a photo of my granddad on a motorbike when he was younger, like on my desk, and I think, oh, I love having that there because I'm like, oh, look at him, looks so cool. Like, and I didn't know him massively well. Like, he died when I was like in year 7, 11. But again, like, I love looking through photos and being like, oh, look, there's my nan, or yeah, there's my mum. And like, if you haven't got photos with people that you love and that, it's well, so it's not. I don't know. You want those photos, don't you? And I think sometimes you
Yeah.
really do have to shift your mindset of that person's not going to think you're fat or ugly. That person loves you, so they want you in that photo. And again, that is also in life. Like, why get fit? Why get healthy? Because that person, those people want you in their lives for as long as possible. Like,
Hmm.
if you're eating yourself into oblivion and not moving and doing anything, you're killing yourself quicker. But your kids want you around, like your family wants you around, your friends want you there as long as they possibly can. Like, so that is such a like use that as a motivation to be like, oh, I actually want to be fit. I want to get involved. I want to come out and walk with them. I don't want to like miss out on all that stuff. And again, that's what we say this stuff quite a lot, but like I feel like social media is so like you need to look like this or you need to be like this, and we fitness and coaching's really hard to sell when it's like you want to have a longer life, you want to be like this because people see weight loss, fat loss and go, oh yeah, I want that, so they instantly go to that. But actually the crux of it is you want to be healthy to do all these things you enjoy, because why would you not live your life? And that is what we want you to do.
Hmm.
Like, we want you hanging around longer and being like in all these photos and doing all these things with your friends and family, not being like, no, I don't want to get involved.
Yeah. And it is when you dig deeper into people's goals, they literally say, I want to lose 15 kilos or 30 pounds, whatever. And you're like, well, why do you want to lose that? Well, because I look after my grandkids 3 times a week and they're 2 and 3. And I want to be able to run around after them and actually be able to look after them well. And, or it's like I've seen my mum and she's got this disease and she passed away young, or she can't get out of bed now. And I don't want to end up like that. I want to be able to go outside and live my life and live to the fullest. And that, like, there's that initial thing of losing the weight, but there's so much more meaning behind that weight loss. Is because of all those other things. That is the real driver for people, for sure.
Mm, definitely, definitely. And when it comes to like your health and fitness, you've got to remember it's normal for every day to feel different. Like we said just a minute ago, but it's normal for like you might have, say you're into running, you might have one run where it feels like shit, and the next run you could feel like you're flying. Like, you might have one workout where you're like, oh God, everything's heavy today, I'm gonna have to rein it in. But then the next 2 or 3 workouts, you could be like, yeah, I feel like great. That is normal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, we're not always gonna feel energetic. You're not always gonna like, there are gonna be times where you like eat extra food because you feel emotional. Doesn't mean you do it every time. But there's so many things here that are normal that people think are not. And again, like you say, it really like stops people from getting the results they want, because then they just give up because they think they're not doing it right.
But I literally, one of my tips is before you go out and have the dinner, have a look at the menu, see what you're going to have. And I was like, I'm going to have a steak and I'm going to have sweet potato fries. I'm going to have some fun. And then I got there and I had a blue pizza because there was a goat cheese pizza on there. And I was like, I was like, oh, steak to have a pizza. And I was like, what does my soul really want right now? And I was like, I'm eating out twice this week. So no, I'm going to have the pizza because probably should have had the steak because I'll probably eat something again that I really want on Saturday. But I had the pizza and I got straight back on track the next day. So, my week will look majority pretty healthy and balanced, and then I'll have 2 meals out. But I didn't actually finish the whole pizza because I couldn't, like, I was full. But sometimes before I may have finished that pizza because it tasted really good. And I was like, I'll just stuff it all in. And I was like, no, do you know what? I'm full. I've enjoyed that. I'm going to leave it. But yeah, being honest, I was like, I could have had the steak, but I went for the pizza because I'm human and I just really fancied it.
You're also really quite good at leaving it when you're full, whereas I'm terrible at that. I'm like, no, I've paid for this shit. I need to eat it.
It
You
depends
like
what
sometimes just leave a slice of pizza and I'm sat there like, oh man, she's left a slice. I could eat that slice. Like, someone hurry up and take this away because I'm going to eat her slice of pizza.
luckily Sam and one of the other boys had pizza because I was looking at it going, I could have another piece, but I know that if I eat that, I'm going to be so full. Like I was just content. I was at a content fullness, and I ate it, and I was like, oh, it's made my life easier now. Don't have to think about it. Don't have to see it. It's gone.
But again, that's normal, right? Sometimes you might overeat, sometimes
Yeah,
you can leave it. Like that's a healthy balance of things when you go out. Like that you're aware of what you're doing. Like, and sometimes you might be aware of what you're doing and you think, I don't care today. Today I do not care. I'm gonna do it anyway. But then other days you might be like, no, do you know what? I'm gonna leave it. I don't actually need it. Like again, like you, like sometimes I'll go through a phase where I'm like, actually I don't need dessert, I don't want dessert. Whereas other times I'm like, fuck yeah, give me dessert as well. Like it just
yeah.
depends, doesn't it? And again, that's normal. Like, someone messaged on a group chat saying, "Oh, I was really bad with my food," and I was like, "Right, what do you mean by bad? Like, what is that?" And they're like, "Oh, I had like a takeaway and a milkshake," and I was like, "Right, like, what's bad about that you had?" And they were like, "Oh, the calories." I was like, "Okay, well, I'm glad you said calories because there probably would be high in calories." I said, "But you've only done that once this week. You're fine." Like, get back to it today, eat your breakfast, eat a good, like, well-rounded meal for lunch and dinner. You're fine. Not a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas some people will be like, oh, that's bad because, like, I don't know, it was chocolate and cream and all this other stuff, less nutritious stuff. I didn't have fruit and veg, blah, blah, blah. I feel awful, blah, blah. Don't feel awful. You've had it, you've done it, you enjoyed it, crack on and move on again. Again, normal. Beat
Yeah,
yourself up about it and then don't eat right the next day or eat as well as you could the next day. It's when things start going tits up.
yeah, 100%. And I also normalize it's okay to have something a little bit less nutritious every day. Like I literally bought, like I really fancy an ice cream. So I went to the shops yesterday and I bought a little mini pack of Magnums, the small ones, because I was like, they're 130 or 140 calories. I usually have a little bit of dark chocolate after my dinner. So I was like, I'm going to have one of those instead. And I'll probably have one of those in the evening after dinner if I fancy it. But I've kind of planned that in to my days and my weeks, like so it fits into what I'm at. Do you know what I mean? So
Mhm.
it's also like it's also normal to have a little bit of chocolate or have something that you want each day. And then I probably won't want to eat big ice creams on a weekend because I've restricted myself. I've just said, yeah, that's right. And do you know what? I don't probably won't even have an ice cream tonight because I know I'm allowed to have one. I don't really have a craving for one today, but they'll be in my freezer and I can have one another day.
Yeah. You tend to find that though, don't you? Like, I think so, like when you let go of this, I can't have this, I can't have that, I can't have that, and go, I can have that, you have less of it because you know it's
Yeah.
available and you're like, oh, well, I can
Mm-hmm.
have it if I want. It's not a problem. Whereas if you say, I can't, I can't, I can't, you then binge eat on it because you've told yourself you can't have it and you're trying to restrict it.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%. Crisps are just my nemesis. I It's not that I'm not allowed to have crisps, but I just can't stop eating crisps. I'm just addicted to crisps. So I just don't have them in the house. And if I do have them, I eat them all.
You should do a reel on that. Like, honestly, screw the digestives. I feel like you'd have a big following if you said about that because I have so many clients, they're addicted to crisps.
I don't know what it is about them, but I just love crisps so much. I will have to do a reel on it.
I've never seen you eat a packet of crisps.
Yeah, I know
Have I?
because I never, probably not. I don't buy them because I can't restrain myself. So I just don't buy them. And then we have a barbecue, I'll buy crisps and then they're like literally there and I'm like a
Oh
Hoover.
my gosh. Wow, like a Hoover, the crisp Hoover.
Hoover.
Oh my gosh. It's mad though, isn't it? Because like that they wouldn't bother me unless I was like hadn't eaten all day and like I need something to eat and they're there. Like I will not touch crisps because I hate the way they get stuck in your teeth.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Doesn't
That
bother me
drives
as
me
well.
insane. So I'm just like, nah, I don't want that. I don't want to be sat here doing this the whole time. Like, no, no, absolutely not. But yeah, I know. So you need to do a reel on crisps because so many people, honestly, I have that all the time. Like people are like, I just can't stop the crisps. But yeah, yeah, funny what your things are. And I would never have guessed that about you because I have never seen you eat a crisp.
Yeah, no restraint.
Wow.
No restraint.
And again, that's using your environment to set yourself up, right? If you know that you haven't got it, then whatever. But you know, when you go to barbecues, you might have a few and you just, okay, that's fine. It's not the end of the world if I've had like a bag of crisps whilst I was around someone's house, you know?
Exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
and that's the thing, being like, you will have times where you're eating for convenience. You might have to have a bowl of cereal. You might have to get a ready meal. You might have to go and get a meal deal at the shop. Things like this happen every now. The other day I was driving home and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to get home till like 4 o'clock. I haven't had lunch. Like, and I was getting petrol. So I was like, right, I'll quickly get a sandwich. I can't remember the last time I did that. But I was like, I'm going to have something because otherwise I'm going to go home and eat the whole cupboard. And I don't want to be doing that. So actually going to buy the sandwich for like a couple of quid that was convenience, like it did me a favor because then I didn't go home and eat everything in sight. Um, Sometimes you will have a takeaway. Last night I went to the shop and I was like, I really can't be asked to cook tonight. Like, I couldn't even bother to do scrambled eggs. So I bought like a yo sushi chicken thing. I was like, oh, that looks all right. I mean, I'll probably never buy one again because it blew my absolute head off. However, I was like, oh, cool, 3 minutes in the microwave, sorted, done. Don't even have to think about it. And that didn't stop me then today from eating properly. Do you know what I mean? Like you then
No,
get back to it. And today I feel like I could cook. I mean, I ate out for lunch, but I wasn't going to do that. That wasn't in my plan, but it happened. But I picked something that was actually really quite nutritious. It was really yummy, super yummy. The Hog House, if you've not been, go. It's really good. I don't know where if they're a UK thing or if they're just in Portsmouth, but they're in South Sea and Drayton. And I had a a burrito bowl, sweet potato burrito bowl, chicken and stuff on it. It was banging.
good. That's so good. I think we have so many good places, like at motorway services and like the petrol stations and things like that. We actually have so many healthier options in those places as well. And I think also people demonize sandwiches and they're like, oh, it's only a sandwich. I'm like, sandwiches aren't even bad for you. Like, that always blows my mind. It's like, oh, well, there's nothing there because there's only sandwiches. I'm like, go for a sandwich. Go a ham and cheese sandwich. Like, that's not going to kill you. It's probably only like 350 to 400 calories. And yes, it might not be the most nutritious thing, but like, it's not, sandwiches really aren't the end of the world. And there are salad bowls and all this kind of stuff you can get in services and petrol stations and all those kind of things these days that you don't have to go for a McDonald's or, KFC or whatever.
No, but also it depends on whether you're driving or whether you're a passenger, right? If I'm a passenger, I'll probably buy a salad, but if I'm driving, there's no way I'm trying to eat a fucking salad whilst I'm driving.
No,
Not that I
exactly.
eat whilst I drive. However, like when I'm at a traffic light, a quick bite of a sandwich, it's more convenient. And like you say, I got an egg mayo one the other day, and it was only like 400
Yeah.
calories. But that time over. But I think it's the whole bread thing.
Well, yeah.
Normal, healthy, fit humans also eat bread.
Oh, the amount of women I jump on calls with and they're like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that bread. I shouldn't have had the bread. Well, the bread is so bad. I need to cut out bread. I literally said to a lady the other day, I said, how much bread are you eating? Or just one slice a day. I was like, sorry? I was like, you don't need to be cutting that out. If you like to have eggs on toast for breakfast, have your eggs on toast for breakfast. The toast
Yeah,
isn't the thing that's causing the issue here. The issue is all the snacks that you're having in between and all the overeating it, whatever it is. I can't remember exactly which, but those
yeah,
things are the things that are causing you the issue, not your one slice of bread for the
yeah,
breakfast. It's like 100 calories, if depending on what
yeah.
it is.
That's
It's
madness,
wild.
isn't it?
Yeah.
If you're eating loaves of bread and you're eating it all day, or like you've realised when you eat bread it makes you feel bloated, whole different ball game. Maybe
Yes.
try and change some stuff up. But if you're having one slice of bloody toast a day or like a sandwich, like it's
Don't do
not
two
the end
slices.
of the world. Like eat the bloody sandwich, like Christ.
It's normal to eat bread, and it's okay to eat bread. So please, if you like bread, eat it. Don't eat a whole loaf. Don't eat a whole loaf.
No,
Have a slice or
no.
two.
Yeah, don't do that because again, the whole binging thing. I had a client come to me once and they're like, "Oh, my last PT told me I'm not allowed to eat bread." So they didn't eat bread. And then she went on holiday and I went, "And then what did you do on holiday?" She was like, "All we did was eat bread." And I was like, "Right, cool. Then you're even more bloated and feel like shit because you haven't eaten it for however many weeks or months." Like, no, stop that. Just bloody eat some bread. Like, it's okay.
I don't like to demonize other people, but I do look sometimes online and think, the hell is going on in this world?
Oh, this is why I hate
Profiting.
looking at social media because I just think it's just full of so much shit and people follow it and then all people do is constantly save stuff and don't do it or they look at it and go yes I must do this or be like that person or do that and actually it's not that complicated.
No, it's really not.
Just stop listening to all the freaking noise because the noise is causing you complications. And like you say, you're comparing things, so you're not doing any of it. You're getting stuck, you're staying stuck because you're listening to social media. And actually, all you need is someone to go, right, this is what we need to do. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Take the thinking out of it. Let someone else do it for you. Well, actually, you've got to do it, but let someone go to you. This is what you need to
help
do.
you.
We are
Yeah,
walking, living proof of things. This works. Like, we've done it.
yeah,
Like, we've been there, done that, tried and tested a shit ton of things that don't work, like tablets and fat burners and all sorts of stupid shit that you don't need to do. Like, just follow this, listen, like I have a coach, so I don't have to think about what I do at the gym. He takes away that thinking for me. I just go do. It makes my life so much easier. Let someone do that for you, but actually follow what they say. If you don't follow what they say, it's not going to work. If you follow what they say, it will work. Guaranteed.
yeah, for sure. Definitely. Sometimes it is just making things a little bit more simple rather than a little bit more complicated. The simple was easier as well. Simple was so much easier. Just with everything in life, make things more simple. Like, just stop overthinking it, make it more simple. Talking to myself as well, just so we know.
Yeah, she's talking to me too.
Talking to you, talking to we all just overcomplicate everything. We don't need to do it. Life doesn't have to be that
Absolutely.
hard.
100%. Oh, I get it. Clients come in and I show them how to do a weighted workout and like, or an exercise, and they'll start doing something and they'll be like twisting their hands around the other way, like, oh, I'm gonna grab a dumbbell like this. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, just do this. Like, and they're like, oh. And I'm like, well, stop making it more complicated. Everyone makes it more complicated. And they all do it. They're like, am I making this harder? I'm like, yeah, stop it. Like, just do this. But yeah, we don't need complex. We've got too much shit going on in our lives. We've got like complexity is not the way forward.
No, it's
Complicating
really
things is not the way forward. No.
no,
But
it's really, really neat. Um, but yeah, I think also as well, it's just a couple of things to remember is like it's normal to have days where you're more tired, have days where you're more stressed, have days where you feel more emotional, have days where you just have a shit day, have days where you just don't feel like yourself. There's days where you will feel great. And I actually spent a lot of years stressing about, well, why don't I feel that good today? What's happened this day that I don't feel great here? Or I'm like, oh, I'm just human. Sometimes I just feel like that. We're like meant to be like up and down, every day to a certain extent, obviously, not the extremes, but yeah, that is normal as well.
yeah, 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 we just have to remember what normal is. And if you're not sure, and if you feel stuck, and if you feel like you need some help, then give us a message, talk to us, listen to this podcast over and over again as many times as you need to realize that
Yeah.
you're a normal human being and you're doing all the things that you still need to do to live a healthy life.
And talk to it. What I've actually noticed is sometimes I like hold things in and then I'll talk to someone. They're like, oh, yeah, I feel that way too. Oh, okay. So that is normal. Yeah. Oh. So maybe talk to a friend
Mm,
if you're feeling like something isn't quite, like, oh, is this normal? And they'll be like, oh, yeah, I feel like that. And you go, oh, okay. Yeah, that's normal.
mm. Actually, you said that you just triggered that. One of my online clients, like, she said something the other day in a text, and like I said to her, look, tell me, talk to me, what's going on? I'm glad you've reached out that you're not feeling very motivated. What's happening? And she literally just said about all this stuff that was going on at work. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, don't feel like you have to do 3 workouts this week. If two's all you can manage, two's all you can manage. If you want to make your workout a little bit shorter, do 15 minutes rather than half an hour. Like, what can you do mentally? Like, what's gonna help you here? Like, and she's like, oh, I've got a hot tub. I'm like, cool, jump in the hot tub. That's absolutely fine. Don't track your food this week. Absolutely fine. There were so many things. And then afterwards, she actually ended up doing a workout, going for a walk, doing all these other things because she's suddenly like, oh, took the pressure off herself and actually did all this stuff because she was like, oh, I'm glad I've had a chat now. Now I've ranted. Now I feel better. Now I can go off and do all these things. Like, sometimes, like you say, you just need to talk about it. And like, again, I wish people do it more, like when they're feeling like they're hitting a slump, instead of ghosting and disappearing or not talking, like say something, because you don't know if I can help you.
Exactly, exactly. And most of the time, we can help in some way, and actually just being listened to and actually get something off your chest is probably sometimes all you need to feel that little
Yeah.
bit better.
Oh my God, how
So
many times have we done that to each other? I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Thanks for the answer. And you're like, well, I haven't said anything. I'm like, oh, yeah, but you've answered my question, so it's fine. You didn't actually do anything. You just listened to me and I answered my own question.
that happens most of the time, doesn't it? People literally go on, oh, I'm gonna have like coaching calls or things like that, and they'll just go, oh, I could do. They're struggling with something, and they'll go, oh, I could actually do that. Oh, I've never thought of that before. Why have I never thought of that before? And I'm like, because you've never actually just sat and thought about it or offloaded it. And it's like, I haven't actually sometimes even said anything, but just because they have someone there that's they can like talk to, ideas pop up. And I'm like, what have I not thought of that? It's so simple. And I'm like, well, you just if you're not in that environment where you're able to think about it, you're not gonna necessarily do it. So yeah,
Absolutely. I used to have it when I worked at in customer service on the phones. Like I'd have a customer call in about something and I'd turn around to the girls, like spin around, I'm like, right, I've got this customer that wants this, blah, blah, blah. They're doing this and this happens. I'm like, oh yeah, but if I do that, I'll do that. Thanks, gang. Turn around, get back on the phone. No one said anything to me. I've just spoken to them all and I'm going, right, we're gonna do this, this, and this. But because I've said it out loud,
yeah.
like you say, it's giving yourself that answer, and you're like, cool, and everyone just sits there going, all right, well, glad you're all right. It carries on.
That's it, exactly. Right. Well, I feel like we have been talking for a while, so maybe we should wrap this one
Yeah,
up.
absolutely.
I know you probably all love listening to us, but I know you don't want to be spending hours and hours on, on one podcast.
I mean, yeah, this could be a long one. I don't even know how
It's
long it's been, to be honest, but we roll.
over an hour, I think. But anyways,
Oh my God, wowza! All right, we better shut up.
right. Well, thank you so much for listening, team. Just remember that you are all normal and it's all okay. And if you do need a little bit of extra help, always feel free to reach out to us, socials, number, whatever. Or you can email us at fitgirls93@gmail.com. And yeah, thanks for listening.
Don't forget,
And like and subscribe and all that
yeah,
jazz.
send it to your friends. Do whatever you have to do.
Yes. Awesome. And we will catch you, or you'll catch us in the next one.
Au revoir.